Hi, Omega Chaos Syrian, and with another online tech profile, and this time I'm showing my assault mode talk. So back in the day, I used to use my Star Australian assault mode tech for a pretty long time, but of course I did abandon that tech obviously because it wasn't really that viable anymore. Actually, it was never really that viable. But now with the new support from the Dark Neostorm set, this deck is now viable as a pure strategy, which means you don't really have to use any real outside support cards anymore. And so yeah, so I guess let's go to this deck. So first I run one TG hardware counter assault mode. You're not going to summon it normally because it's just way too difficult. I have no idea why they made assault mode a version of this card, considering that the original Synchromancer is already pretty difficult to summon, but then using assault mode on it as well, pretty unnecessary I would say. So you summon it in this deck with assault reboot by tributing another assault mode monster. So overall, this card is definitely pretty good for its really powerful effect of being able to negate the summon of any monster, and then you banish all of your opponent's spells on one monster. So that's really pretty amazing, and of course, a really huge attack as well. Then of course, still the main star of the assault mode strategy, Star Assault mode. I think you know what this card does. You tribute itself and again negate anything, and then it comes back in the end phase. So that's really amazing still, even in the current game. So yeah. Then I also run one Arcane Magician Assault mode. It's pretty good, I would say. You obviously get two counters on it. Then remove two spell counters from this card, and then destroy all of your opponent's cards on the field. Then you're pretty good. You can again summon it with Assault Reboot, but you can also summon it normally as well because of the effect of Assault Sniper. So yeah, definitely pretty good, I would say. Then of course triple assault beast to search out the summon activate, or you can also revive this card with Psy Reflector as well for synchro summons. Then triple assault sniper, very necessary card. It's also beast warrior, so you can search it up with tanky like assault beast. So essentially you tribute this card, you plus one monster from your hand or deck that specifically lists uh, the card summoned activate in its card text, except Assault Sniper, but you cannot spell one monster other than Sugar Monsters that turn, at least from the extra deck, I mean. So yeah, and the second effect that you can target one monster, reveal one Sugar Monster from the extra deck, then the target monster's type, and that event becomes the same as the revealed monsters at the end of the turn. So essentially, you can go for some other specific, some other synchronous with specific conditions like Arcane Magician or like High Speed or Kite Strike and stuff like that. That was definitely pretty good. Then remember one of the key cards in this deck for sure is Psy Reflector. So if this card is normal or spell summon, you can search for any assault mode activate or any card that specifically lists assault mode activate in its card text. So that's really amazing. And also you can reveal assault mode activate in your hand, and then revive a monster in your graveyard that specifically lists the card assault mode activate in its text, except itself, and then you special it and then increase its level up to 4. So mostly probably go for like increase up to 3 generally for it to be level 7. Then you go for Star Dragon most of the time. So that's really good, very essential card for this deck because that basically gets everything going in this deck. Then triple assault teleport, put a somewhat monster from a hand back to the deck and draw 2 cards. So that's definitely still I think pretty good. Not sure if it's exactly necessary, but we'll see. I might take it out or something in the future. Then triple formation tanky because both Assault Beast and Assault Sniper are searchable with this card, so that's definitely really good. So this deck is definitely pretty consistent, I would say. Then one somewhat zero essentially, you tribute to Synchro Monster and then you can spell that Assault Monster from the hand. So that's doing the pretty good. Also you can banish this card from the graveyard to set an Assault mode activate directly from the deck. And then you can also activate it in the same turn. especially really good in combination with like to summon out the Arc Magician Assault mode, for example. Then one immediate teleport because Psy Reflector is a Psychic type, so that's definitely very good. Then the 1 for 1 for the basically to summon up Psy Reflector once again. Then triple co-op point a grave because Assault, Sniper, and Psy Reflector are very vulnerable to hand traps like Ash and Effect Wailer and stuff like that. So definitely pretty necessary. Then taps, of course, triple assault activate, of course, pretty obvious. One assault reboot to switch out your assault monster for a different one essentially. Most to summon out your Harvard Cannon assault mode. Then triple assault counter. The reason why this card is now really good in this deck because of the fact that it's now a lot easier to summon out the assault mode from the deck. So, or yeah, anywhere. So activate while you control an assault monster, and then you can obviously negate anything, spell trap or monster effect. So that's really amazing. So essentially, you summon out your starter on assault mode, and then set this or some other traps, and then mostly they want to bait out your starter on assault mode effect, but instead you just first activate this, and then you probably can't bait it out and whatnot. So that's definitely a really good card, but of course if you can't summon out your assault mode, then it's definitely a brick. So that's definitely the downside, but I think it's definitely worth it now. Then of course your Solemn card, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, and Solemn Strikes. Obviously, really good, obviously. And also a triple Drowning Mirror was the reason why I run this card is that obviously you triple your stars assault mode, and your opponent tries to attack directly, and then you spin your opponent's attack position monster back to the deck. So that's really amazing, and your opponent really won't see it coming for sure. Then of course Synchros. This deck is pretty much all different types of Synchros. You can pretty much summon all of them, especially with the effect of Assault Sniper. You can run some Link monsters, but since that restriction of Assault Sniper kind of limits your plays in deck select, so yeah. So of course, triple Stardust Dragon, yeah, very obvious to summon out your Stardust Dragon Assault mode. One Stardust Spark Dragon, one Scarlet Dragon Archwind. You could also include Red Dragon Archwind Assault mode with this card if you want to. Then Bells of the Diabolic Dragons. Yeah, pretty good. Void Opera Dragon. A high speed rate Kite Drake. It's really good because it's essentially a level 8 Synchro Judgment Dragon. Then Dino Rest Giga Spine Savat. Pretty decent, I would say. Then Siphon Lord Omega, obviously. Arcana Magician. Summon out your Arcana Magician Assault mode, and pretty good Synchro on its own as well. Then Cyber's Quantum Dragon, pretty good. All Eyes Meteorburst Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, and FA Dawn Dragster. So yeah, pretty good Synchro monsters all around. But mostly when summon out Stardust Dragon and stuff like that, I think. So yeah, so this was my assault mode online deck profile. I'm definitely going to build this in real life, obviously depending on the prices of the new support cards, but we'll probably wait until a little bit later once Dark Neostorm comes out, because when Dark Neostorm comes out I will be focusing more on Finnish nationals and making sure I have all the cards ready for that event, so I might not have the time to focus on getting all the cards for this deck. So I hope you enjoyed this online deck profile. For now, goodbye and Omega Khaos out.